All right, we're going to go ahead and get started this morning. Welcome to our puppet class. I'm going to do half of it, and then Sister Annais will do the other half. So, my half is going to be coming up with the script for the puppet show. And so, puppet shows like anything else, it's just like a drama or like a sermon, icebreaker, whatever. You're giving a message. So you're trying to come up with a message through puppet form. You don't need to have 5 or 6 puppeteers. You can get away with 1, 2. So everything that we do in our church, you can do it at any level. You know, we do a back to school bash. If you're a pioneer church, you can do it. If you're a big church, you can do it. So the message that we're trying to bring is that anybody can do anything. Okay, it's not limited to, oh, well, we don't have a lot of people. Doesn't matter. 1, 2 people can do it. So there's black lights and there's also regular puppets. Both do great. So has anybody ever made a script before? Nobody's ever made a script before. Okay, 1. Okay, you can do scripts, little messages. You could also do songs. We do songs, and so songs work really good. You don't want to keep them boring songs. Adult songs might not be boring to you, but to the kids, they are boring. So kids like movements. They like to get involved. They like to do things. So it's always good to have some type of movement in there. And so we're going to do a little run through here, and we're going to come up with the script. I don't have the script, so we're going to come up as a group with a script for a puppet show, a small puppet show. And so what I do is I just ask questions. Everybody can throw in their input. I write it down. It doesn't even have to be, well, it kind of does, but you know, you can say whatever you want to say. And so you can, oh, by the way, my name is Mark, if you don't know. Also known as the Puppet Master, so just kidding. So I just throw out ideas. You know, it doesn't have to be the right idea. And so sometimes I'm just writing everybody's idea. And so we have 100, and everybody's expecting to go in one certain direction. And I get inspired. And as I'm writing, it comes out in a whole different direction. I always get in trouble for that for some reason or another. But that's what works for me. So whatever works for you, whatever works for your children. Okay? So what's the message that we want to give out on this puppet show that we're doing? Anybody? Jesus, okay. They are going where? Back to school. So we can start out with back to school. So if you don't say anything, I'm going to start poking at you and say, hey, you need to say something, okay? So we want to maybe go with back to school. Okay, so back to school. What comes to your mind when we talk about going back to school? Standing out. Beautiful. Standing out. Anybody else? Waking up in the morning. New shoes? New shoes. Okay. Anybody else? Lunchtime. That's a favorite. Bullies. Temptation. School supplies. Be nice. Okay. Okay, something new, maybe going to junior high. They were in elementary, so something new. challenging, fear. Okay, so we'll stop there for the moment. And so, a couple of things come to my mind when they say about new shoes. So, I remember as a kid, I couldn't afford new shoes. So, that was a battle for me. Like, yeah, I got to go back to school. I don't got no new clothes, no new shoes. So, that was something for me. No new shoes. Sad story. You're supposed to say, oh. So, sad story. Okay. Fear. So, that's a big thing nowadays is fear, anxiety. So, that's one thing you want to do when you're doing puppet shows is, Annais will get a little bit more into it, is you don't want to be boring. You want to be, exaggerated. You want to be exciting. So, when I think of fear and I think of puppet shows, I think of getting a little crazy. Like, I'm scared, like kind of like freaking out because you're going to go back to school. Okay. So you don't want to be like all timid, like, oh, I'm scared. No, that's kind of boring. I mean, you're scared, but you're not like really pushing the subject. So you really want to push your point by, hey, he's scared. The puppet is scared. Okay. So do we have any volunteers this morning to do a little puppet show? Okay, sister right here. Go ahead and grab a puppet. Anyone you want. It's fine with me. So go ahead and put it in your hand. So just pretend that you're fearful you're going to school. So just go, rah, whatever. You're fearful.
I'm so scared. I don't want to go. I don't want to walk into that prison.
There you go. Beautiful. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so you can come up with point number 1, waking up in the morning to go back to school. You can put it back. Thank you very much. So that's point number 1. Waking up early to go back to school. So the puppet will be like, I gotta go back to school. It's so early. I'm used to waking up at 11 o'clock, and now I have to get up at 7. Oh, my gosh. And then we change it from lazy to now fearful. Oh, my gosh, I got to go back to school. What was I thinking about? I don't even got shoes. Wait a minute. Puppets don't even wear shoes. What in the world? What am I going to do? And so you get it more exciting. So you go from being lazy to being fearful, and now you want to make it more joyful. Oh, I heard about my friend who's going to be there too. He's going to the same school, same class. That is so awesome. So now you're changing it around, and now what are we going to do in school? Well, we're going to be the light of the world. We're going to tell everybody about Jesus. It's going to be so exciting. This is a moment. This is an opportunity to tell people to come to church. And so all of that came out from here. It didn't come out from one person. It didn't come out from one thing. So we kind of just move along, improvise. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to be exciting. Okay? And so, as I said, we do have some blacklight puppets. We do signs to give out messages through songs where the blacklight is not necessary, but it does make it a little bit more exciting. You want to turn off the lights there. You can make some signs that are very colorful, very nice. Okay, you can go and turn on the lights again. Okay, these are styrofoam. This is what's worked the best for us. You can get a big sheet. I think it's at Home Depot, right? The ones that work good. Home Depot has a big sheet. From that one sheet, I think they cost like $20, $30 or something. From that one sheet, you can get probably 30 of these if you cut them, depending on the size. So you can reuse them if you're not doing bugs anymore. Painted black, do it again. You can order these paints right here online. You can also get little ones again, any level. You want to go small, you get a small, Walmart. You want to go big, do a Christmas show. You want to do something big that requires more, get one of these. These will last you a long time. I think we've already done like maybe 2 Christmas seasons with some of these. And when we do Christmas, we do like a lot of painting, like 2 months worth of painting. So it lasts. It'll definitely last. So you can go any level, from small to big, from 2 people to 10 people to 20 people. You can go pretty much any direction you want. Okay, now Annais is going to give us some less. You got any questions for me?
They can use regular poster boards and glue, but it has to be fluorescent paper.
Yeah, just make sure the paint is actually black light. Otherwise, fluorescent is different than the black lights. She's going to do that right now. Yeah. I'm just the one who comes up with the scripts. Yes. Thank you. Okay.
Hello. Have you ever wanted to say something, but you didn't want to offend somebody? Well, the puppet could say it. And then, in case that you notice that the audience is getting a little offended, then you can address the puppet and begin to say, why are you saying it like that? Or don't you notice our audience? So it's really neat. So hello, my name is Annais Garcia, and I have been coming to the church for about 15 years. And when I was a new convert, Abby said, you need to join puppets. And I'm like, no, it's okay. No, really, you should join puppets. And so a while back, I began to join puppets. And I have seen now then Brother Mark take the lead, and he is really, we call him. It's not, he didn't self-call him that. We call him the puppet master, and then we have the puppet master's wife. And so it's a lot of fun. And the good thing is that it's through seasons. So your puppeteers don't have to go to practice every Friday for the rest of their salvation life. It's a season. It's Christmas. It's a season. And it's going to require their energy and their heart. But God is good. So I'm going to begin to use this board. And then in a bit, I'll move it to the middle so that we can review. But you'll notice that within puppets, this over here. So throughout the years of serving in puppets, you learn a few things, what to do and what not to do. And so, to organize it for today and how to articulate, Brother Mark did give me a source, and so I'll share that source with you in a bit. But I am going to share that source, and gave us 4 puppets, 3 keys. And so these are the keys that I'm going to emphasize. The first one has to do with personality. You have to give your puppet a personality. Sometimes we have universal puppets, and so different kids or different adults will use a puppet. But sometimes there's a particular puppet that personality is that puppet, and only a certain person uses it, and you name it, and that's what it is. So everybody knows when Paco's going to come in, for example, when Paco's going to come in as a puppet, because it's always Paco, it's always his voice, and it's always his personality. So you need to figure out what type of personality you're going to give your puppet. And he mentioned a few. Is it gloomy? Is it always going to be the one who messes it up? Is it going to be the one who is saved? That's also important. We have some puppets that we know they're the Christian puppet who's going to be able to witness. We have some puppets that we know that they're the crazy ones, that eventually the saved one will witness to the unsaved one, but not in every puppet show they get saved. Does that make sense? They're just the conflicted one. So you're going to, as you build your your puppet, like how do I say, like several, as you buy a few, then you have that liberty of giving a personality to each one. So with a personality, I want to, you get to share. Is that puppet going to be shy, extroverted, introverted? Is it going to be an orderly puppet, or is it going to be a messy one? And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and then show you that the young lady that modeled for us was showing fear, right? But not at all times. We don't go ahead and walk around crazy. So with its personality, it's not always going to be movement like that, okay? So on the contrary, depending on the conversation, or maybe the saved one, is going to have subtle movements. And so that's important, and it's going to take practice. And so notice that this puppet, which is the check mark, yes, this is what we're going to do, is looking forward, and then so that's going to go ahead and move us on to another key. So another key is the mouth. And so it's important that you understand how the mouth is going to be used. Can you come up here, mija? So she's going to go ahead and place the puppet in her hand. And meanwhile, I would like for you to raise one of your hands, whether you are left-handed or right-handed. Okay? And so with that, then I want you to get your thumb and you're going to place it in front of your hand. So if you keep a puppet, there it is. Póntelo, it's right there. Okay. So if you put a puppet on and you're looking up, then she's going to go put your hand up like this. The other one. Okay, let me show you. So if you have your hand up, the puppet looks like this. Do you see how the eyes are up? So therefore, you're not providing eye contact. But when you go ahead and now move your fingers forward, now this is going to go ahead and make sure that the puppet is looking forward at the audience. Okay? Now, when we want to do puppets, one common error is that you want to do this. Try it. But the problem is, now you're moving the head, and I don't move my head when I talk. Where do I move? My mouth. So what do you think is going to be the part that's going to be moving? The thumb. So therefore, the mouth is very important, because what's going to be moving, you're going to be tempted to move the top part, but no, move just the thumb. So hand down. Now, think about it. When we speak, it's fluent. When it comes to the puppet, you're going to open the mouth with every syllable. Now, this is not a grammar class, but there's syllables when we speak with vowels. So if you look at the numbers, I want you to go ahead, and in a bit we're going to raise our hand again, and we're going to go ahead and try to say the vowels by moving our thumb as we say the numbers, to see how many times we open our mouth when we say each number. Okay, let's try it. Hand up. Now say one. One. How many times did it open? Once. Okay, let's try the next one. Two? Three? How many times is it moving? Only once, right? Four? Five. Move the thumb only. The thumb only. I see the top fingers moving. No. Okay, let's try. Six? Six? Seven? Oh, how many times did it move? Did you catch that? 7. 8. 9. So the only one that you open your mouth 2 times was who? For 7. So you're going to have to practice that. What? What? Okay, for what? Okay. Another word. Jesus. How many? What do you think? Jesus. How about rhinoceros? That's right. Rhinoceros. A lot of times. 4 times. But it's going to take practice. Does that make sense when it comes to the mouth? Do you think that helps? Okay. So you may put your hands down if you haven't done so already. So, oh, when it comes to the mouth, you're also going to give your puppet another voice. Some puppeteers, they use their own voice, and that's fine because sometimes you're behind a wall. But you do want to give your puppet another voice, whether it be a high-pitched voice, like, I don't know. I don't know if some of you have, I don't want to, this is my puppet voice. Hello, good morning. And it's so dramatic. And so they already know, okay, and then of course my kids will be like, that's my mom. So it doesn't help, right? But it's helpful when it's different. And now my son is already 20, but he still remembers. I would tell everybody, Mom. Anyway, or is your puppet going to have a deep voice? And with that, we're going to then move on to our third key. And our third key has to do with eye focus. Now, we kind of tapped into that because of having to put your fingers down and move just the bottom, right? But when it comes to eye focus, there's more than that. Okay? So if I'm talking to this puppet right here, then the puppet is going to look at me. If I show a book, then the puppet is going to look at me. Does that make sense? So having the focus of your puppet has a lot to do with the puppet show. If you're going to go ahead and work with the proper movement. So that's it for the eye focus, because I had kind of already tapped into it before. But so far, does anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am? Talk to me. Which ones? Okay. So I didn't bring any sticks. What? Oh, there's someone over there? Okay. So when the puppet is being held, sometimes we're a team, right? The puppet master has a team. So sometimes the same person holding the puppet is going to go ahead and hold the hand. So when I don't go ahead and speak like this and I don't put my hand down, right? So the hand goes down. But if the puppet wants to say, hi, everybody, then he's going to go ahead and raise your hand, and then she needs to make sure that the hand goes down. And so in case he wants to say, what? And so he'll, oh, thank you for opening your mouth. So the mouth will open, and, we do bring those gestures in. So we do that where it's a team. So if she's going to be speaking, sometimes we have either mic holders or there's going to be another person like this, and she's doing both hand and mouth. At times, I'm holding the mic, I'm holding this one, but somebody else is moving the hand. So sometimes there's two people holding or maneuvering just one. Sometimes I'm holding the hand, and the other one is also holding the script, because we have Brother Mark's script. And then sometimes we can go off script, but then we go back to the script, so it helps. Okay, so does that answer your question? Give me more, so I can answer it. Yes, and it takes practice. But it's one person can do one and then the other, but there's a lot. One puppet, depending if it's a big show and it's already a script, it's the script, it's the mic, it's the mouth, and it's the hand stick. Does that make sense? So it can take a lot. Yes. Yes, so let me go ahead. Here, can you hold my mic? Okay, I'm going to have to use a girl because I don't know how to make a voice for a man. But we do have some puppeteers that can do male and female voices. Okay. Oh, they don't have a hand. So it goes back to maybe some puppets don't have a hand. And one thing the source mentioned is that don't be so hard on yourself. The kid's imagination will cover your imperfections. So don't be so hard on yourself, like, I didn't move the hand away. I forgot the mouth. It's okay. The kid's imagination is going to go ahead and cover up for the other. It's like when we talked about the new shoes. The puppet doesn't even have shoes, but you can the kids can imagine. I'll do it. Okay. So can I have somebody ask a question for the puppet? Okay. Oh, hi. Well, thank you for asking for my name. My name is Luna. Like moon. Anybody else? Jesus? I hear about him a lot, but I'm still trying to figure it out. Anybody else?
How do you know how to, because I'm sure you practice, right? Like to, because you're back there, you just like put it in front or the back or the side or.
Okay. Thank you. So a common error is that you're trying to look at the script and you're trying to figure out everything. And so the puppet's only showing the mouth looking up. So usually there's a board or a platform. And so sometimes you can rest like the belly on it so you can move forward. I don't know if you noticed I made up the name Luna because this one's kind of a universal puppet. But she was looking at the audience. Did anybody catch that? And so puppets, just like us, sometimes we are still inattentive, but for the most part, we're looking around. So that's what your puppet's gonna do. So make sure that when you bring in its personality, it's moving around. Question? Yes, sir. That's a great question because we're being real, right? So at times, Brother Mark chooses songs that are long, and so the puppet's like, and that's really cool because the song is playing, but we're pretending it's the puppet, right? So at times, we even will go like this and then switch hands because it can get very tiring, yes. And then when we're done, we're like, oh. Okay, yes, sir. Does that answer your question?
So as far as like in the background when you're doing it, you usually do have like a mic stand, someone, or you try to have people that are there holding the mic for you. Try to do that. That's enough people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have a mic stand, you have the script on the side, and then you'll be moving the hand with your other hand, right? That basically what you do in the back.
Yes, if it's just you, sometimes we'll tape the script to the platform that's covering us. And Brother Mark has also found like little mic stands, but they don't have a stick. They just are held to the wall. They're held to the wall of the little platform. So you don't have sticks that could fall and so forth. And another thing is that let's pretend this is the stand. The puppet will go ahead and come forward. Hi! Bye, guys! And then come down instead of. So that could be dangerous. So does that answer your question? But it's gonna take practice. Sometimes we do this. So you're kind of doing everything, but it's a team. We work with it as a team. Yes, sir?
Just a couple of other notes that I didn't mention is you want to keep it as real as possible. We know they're puppets, but kids sometimes will almost think that they're real. So keep them private. Don't keep them in the open. You don't have to do it every single Sunday because you kind of lose the awe of it. And so it'll become boring. It'll become a common thing. So do it like not because we're lazy, but once a month or so. So don't do it every single Sunday. That'll kind of kill it a little bit. Also, we're talking about script. Again, puppets is just like a sermon. You know, if a pastor gets up and reads the script word by word by word by word by word by word, you're going to be bored. Okay? Same thing with the puppet. You know, try to memorize as much as you can. The script is there just for a reference so you can go back to it. But if you're reading it line per line, you're most likely going to bore the kids, okay? So the kids are bored, it's not going to be good, okay? And also keep it at a kid's level. Keep it at a kid's level. Don't start with the book of Revelation and the third horn. Kids are going to be, what the world? You know? So keep it at a kid's level. Some things that might be dumb to you are the most hilarious thing to them. Make a fart noise. It'll make them laugh. It might not make you laugh, but it'll make them laugh. Okay, so make it funny, make it at a kid's level. Uh, Also, you can be crazy because nobody sees you. You're in the back. So this is your chance to be as dumb as you want. So everything that you've been holding in all week long or all month long, let loose. Nobody's going to see you. And like Sister Annais says, it's the puppet's fault. It's not your fault, So you can let loose back there and have some fun. Have the kids have some fun. Okay, I think we're supposed to leave like in 5 minutes. Does anybody else have any questions for her or myself?
How do you go about practicing? Like if you're on a platform, do you like record yourself and then watch it over? Or do you have like a mirror that you see yourself at?
We just kind of go at it as we go. I mean, you can practice as time goes by and you're doing it over and over. You practice. Her part is, all the syllables and all that kind of stuff, and verbs and nouns. I don't even know what verbs are and nouns are, so that doesn't really work for me. But, whatever works, and just try your best to get to that level. But you don't have to get there tomorrow. So you're trying to perfect it, but you're having fun at the same time. So my thing is to be a little crazy. We don't really announce it. We just kind of have it when we have it. But of course, there is some special occasions, like she's saying, the season. So it's like Christmas is a big one for us. Back to school is a big one. So we usually try to do them in the holidays or whatever that holiday falls on. Yeah, we just do it as I mean, you could, hey, next week the puppets are going to be here. We try to include it also in our song service. So that's what's really worked lately is the song service. So the puppet will lead the song service, at least for a song, not the whole thing, but they'll do a song. And so again, if it's movements, the kids will love it. Yes. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I mean, if it's a big one, then we usually do a song because it's kind of a big thing for us. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. Sometimes we'll just give a small little lesson. The puppet will come out for 2-3 minutes, and then that's it. No, 10 minutes would be too long. I would say like maybe 3 minutes or so. Yeah, like 3 minutes. It's just an in and out kind of thing. Yeah. Even like a big, like our Christmas play, which is our biggest one, even that is like 7 minutes tops, I think, right? Like 7-8 minutes with the song. So like in our again going back to our Christmas, which was our big one, we'll do like, what is Christmas about? Well, we lost the whole spirit of Christmas, blah blah blah. Okay, well here's something to kind of inspire you, and then boom, we do the song, which is like a regular song. Don't go doing a Pink Floyd song too long. If you know what Pink Floyd is. Okay, Pastor, you had your hand up. Yeah, standing would be too high. You want it to be like, if you're in an audience, to kind of be at eye level with them. So you're probably best on your knees. Yeah. No, as long as you could hide behind it, that's all you need. We have a stage that we use like for the outdoors, and that one's just like very thin plywood, some 2x4, so it's not very heavy, and we can literally put it up within 5 minutes. It's very easy. You're gonna see it tomorrow, or tonight at 5. So it's very light and it does the job. And then you saw one today, which needs a little bit of adjustments, but that one's out of PVC with just a nice curtain. The curtain we did buy. Well, we bought the whole thing, but you can build it like you said. Yeah.
To elaborate on her question, usually the people are gonna, the team is gonna be showing the puppet as we practice, right? We practice and then we hold up signs, we have signs, so usually the puppet master's wife or other team members are watching. And they tell us, okay, your puppet, just hold it a little higher. Your sign, I couldn't see it. So the feedback comes from when you're practicing, but if you're practicing by yourself, the mirror does help.
Yeah. So the main thing that I would like to kind of impart is it can be at any level. You know, if you have 5, 10 kids, you qualify. If you have 30, 40 kids, you qualify. So at any level, it is an investment. Puppets are not $10. Well, you might find them for $10, but you know, sometimes they're 55, which we have for sale right after service. And sometimes if you get them online, they're $100. So it is an investment, but you could start out. Start out with a little and build your way up. You know, we didn't start out with black lights and all that kind of stuff. We started out with just small, little signs, and you build your way up. Most of this stuff you can get it online. The lights, those are not the only kind of lights that there is. There's other lights that are maybe less expensive. So you can go to any level. Okay, I think that's all we have. We are heading to the sanctuary. Thank you very much for coming. We so appreciate you.